Some women glide through the world like a whispered secret, their presence a riddle that lingers in the air, impossible to unravel, yet impossible to ignore. Welcome to the magic of FunnyFun, the one storyteller who spins tales so captivating they'll tug at your soul and spark your curiosity. FunnyFun doesn't just tell stories. FunnyFun unveils the hidden currents of the human heart, diving deep into Carl Jung's wisdom to reveal why a man's ego becomes obsessed with the mystery of a woman's essence. Settle in for a journey that's as poetic as it is profound, where the silent signs of his fixation become a mirror to your own untamed power. Picture a man, his life a tapestry of control, his every word and gesture a carefully crafted shield. Beneath this polished exterior lies what Jung called the ego, a fragile construct guarding the shadow, the raw, unspoken truths he dares not face. He moves through the world with an air of certainty, yet something stirs within, a restlessness he cannot name. Enter the archetypal woman, her presence not loud but luminous, like moonlight cutting through a starless night. Her mystery is not a performance but a state of being, a quiet power that unsettles his ego. She is the anima, Jung's vision of the soul's feminine muse, her gaze a silent question, her stillness a challenge. This is the first turning point. Her mystery does not flatter his ego. It exposes the cracks beneath its surface. This woman carries herself with a stoic calm, her heart a fortress built from the ashes of her own trials. Trauma psychology whispers of her journey. She has faced her shadows, wrestled with self-doubt, and forged a self-worth that needs no external crown. Your mystery is not a game. It's the truth of who you are, a force that draws him in without effort. Men, shaped by their own hidden wounds, project their desires onto her, seeing in her mystery a puzzle to solve, a conquest to claim. Yet her energy, enigmatic, untouchable, alive, defies their grasp, pulling them into a dance they cannot lead. This is the first silent sign. His ego, hungry for control, becomes obsessed with the mystery it cannot unravel. Imagine a city street at dusk, where the hum of life fades into a quiet hum, and she stands at a crossroad, her silhouette framed by the glow of fading light. He watches from a distance, drawn by an impulse he cannot explain, his thoughts spiraling as her presence lingers like a half-remembered dream. She does not speak, does not beckon. Her silence is her strength, a canvas for his projections. Jung's anima theory reveals why. She is the mirror of his soul's unclaimed desires, reflecting the vulnerability and longing he has buried. Stoicism teaches her to hold this space without bending, to let his gaze fall without chasing it. When you stand in your mystery, you become a riddle he cannot solve. This is the second turning point. His fixation grows, not from her actions, but from the silence that forces him to confront his own unrest. His obsession takes root, a quiet storm brewing in the space between what he wants and what he cannot have. Trauma psychology unveils the source of this pull. The wounded boy within him, shaped by a world that taught him to hide his softness, seeks meaning in her enigma. Yet she refuses to play the role of savior. Her mystery, a shield that protects her wholeness. Your power lies not in giving him answers, but in letting him wrestle with his own questions. Jung's concept of the ego reveals that his fixation is not love, but a battle, a struggle to tame what threatens his control. Her silence, her refusal to perform, becomes the second silent sign. His ego chases her mystery, not to understand it, but to possess it. In a dimly lit bookstore, surrounded by the scent of aged paper, their paths cross. She browses a shelf, her fingers grazing the spine of a book, her presence a quiet pulse in the room. He stands nearby, his words hesitant, his eyes searching for a crack in her composure. Her gaze meets his, not with warmth, but with a knowing that cuts through his facade. She does not fill the silence with chatter. She lets it linger, heavy with possibility. Jung's shadow work suggests that her mystery forces him to face his own hidden depths, the fears, the desires, the truths he has locked away. When you refuse to dim your light, you become a mirror he cannot ignore. This is the third turning point. His ego's obsession deepens, driven by the mystery that refuses to yield. As days turn to weeks, her presence becomes a haunting echo in his mind, a melody he cannot shake. He replays their encounters, searching for meaning in her silences, her glances, her unapologetic stillness. Trauma psychology points to the roots of his fixation. His ego, built on control, craves the certainty of understanding her, yet her mystery defies definition. Stoic wisdom guides her. She embraces her path without clinging to his approval. Her self-worth, a flame that burns without need of his fuel. Your mystery is not a trap. It's a gift, a call to your own liberation. This is the third silent sign. His obsession is not with her, but with the shadow her mystery forces him to confront, the parts of himself he has yet to claim. In a quiet park at dawn, she walks alone, the mist curling around her like a soft embrace. Her steps are steady, her presence a quiet rebellion against a world that demands she explain herself. He watches from afar, his heart a tangle of longing and frustration, his ego wrestling with the enigma she embodies. Jung's individuation reveals her power. She has integrated her light and dark, her strength and softness, into a whole that needs no validation. When you walk in your truth, you become a force that reshapes the world. His fixation, now a quiet ache, is a call to his own awakening, a challenge to face his shadow. This is the fourth turning point. Her mystery becomes a catalyst, not for his conquest, but for his transformation. As months pass, her influence lingers, not as a memory, but as a shift in his soul. He begins to question the ego that once defined him, the need for control that shaped his desires. Jung's teachings whisper that the anima is not just a projection, but a guide to wholeness, a call to integrate the hidden self. Her mystery was never meant to be solved. It was meant to awaken. Your power lies in being, not in being understood. Trauma psychology suggests his obsession stems from wounds unhealed, a need for approval, a fear of vulnerability. Yet, she does not linger to guide him, for her path is her own, guided by the Stoic principle of amor fati, love of fate. In a final scene, she stands on a rooftop, the city sprawling beneath a sky ablaze with twilight. Her silhouette is a testament to her journey, a woman who has danced with her shadows and emerged unbowed. The man, now grappling with his own reflection, carries the weight of her mystery, a longing that is less about her and more about the truth she unveiled. The feminine mystery does not conquer through force, but through presence, through the courage to be whole in a world that begs for fragments. Your mystery is your power, a flame that burns for you alone. This is the fifth turning point. Her silence, her enigma, becomes the spark that ignites his journey to self-awareness. And so, FunnyFun, the one storyteller, wraps this tale with a fire that lights up the heart. This journey through the silent signs of his obsession and the power of your mystery has left you spellbound, hasn't it? If this story stirred your soul, made you see your own enigma in a new light, then smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with every woman ready to embrace her untamed power. Drop a comment below, tell FunnyFun what mysteries you're ready to wield. Stick with FunnyFun for more stories that don't just captivate but transform, because this channel is where hearts come to soar. The woman who walks in her mystery isn't elusive, she simply sees more.